The next reader question is about cardio. Here's the question. My biggest flaw is cardio. I roll at a slow pace, but usually if it goes 10 minutes or more, I tend to then gas out very quickly. So, good question, important question. Cardio is king. Of the physical attributes of speed, of flexibility, endurance, balance, base, all those things, I think that endurance, and in particular cardiovascular endurance, is the most important. And what I go to here is a story from Danny Nasanto, one of my martial arts instructors, a man I incredibly respect. And what he says is that yes, you might be strong, you might be fast, you might have great balance, you might be smart, but if you're tired, if you don't have cardio, then all of a sudden you're not smart, you're not strong, you're not fast, you don't have anything. If you're tired, you lose all your other attributes. So the most important thing is endurance, and I completely agree. There have been times when I've been stronger and not so strong. How much weight training am I doing? How much weight training am I not doing? How much cardio am I doing? How much cardio am I not doing? And inevitably in my game, the more cardio I do, the sharper my game is. So I'm biased. Some people have different forms of cardio. Some people like to do sprints and they find that sprints help them the most. And some people find long, slow distance or LSD training. Isn't that a great acronym? LSD. Training helps them the most. That's the camp that I fall into. I've tried the sprints, doesn't work for me as much. But cardio is super duper important. But before we start ranting about cardio, there might be some easy fixes for you. Simple fixes for you. First of all, are you overweight? If you're carrying a lot of extra weight, if you're, more than 15, 20% body fat, if you've got a belly, it's hard to give you advice about getting great cardio because quite honestly, you're carting around a whole lot of extra weight. And that makes it hard to move. And sometimes you see, bigger, fatter people with good cardio, but it's pretty rare. So that would be one, really cleaning up your diet, avoiding, the sugars, the empty calories, the beer. I think that's a big one that nobody talks about. The alcohol. Those are really important. This may not be what you want to hear, but it's what I'm saying. It's what I think is true. So this is my podcast. I can say whatever I want. Second thing, do you smoke? It's hard to believe that in this day and age, there are still martial artists who smoke, but you do run into them. I personally love running into them on the mat. Because if you're rolling with somebody and you can smell, smoke in their hair, smoke on their skin, almost always they're going to gas. All you need to do is roll with them for a bit. They're going to get tired. Then you start putting pressure on their diaphragm with your body weight. You adjust your body weight so that you're putting more pressure on the diaphragm. Often you get the tap just from exhaustion, just because they can't breathe. So if you smoke, for the love of God, if you don't listen to anything else I ever tell you about jiu-jitsu or martial arts, stop. It's a filthy, horrible, destructive habit. There's no good side effects from it at all. It takes years and years off your life. And if this is the only lever I have, I'm going to use it. It'll make your Brazilian jiu-jitsu much worse. So for the sake of getting your next belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, stop smoking now, never start again, if that's applicable to you. Another relatively easy thing to fix is breath holding. Some people, they've got good cardio, if you put them on a treadmill, they can run for a long time, but you put them in a slightly stressful situation, and it depends what it is. Some people do this in competition. Some people do this when they're fighting lower belts. Some people do this when they're fighting higher belts. They hold their breath. They're rolling, and they're not breathing deeply all the time. You're using a lot of oxygen wrestling. It's tiring. There's a reason that people get tired. It's because it's tiring. If you're not breathing continuously and paying attention to, even though you're in a difficult position, even though you're in a scramble, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. That will often prematurely make you tired. I'm not going to say too much more about that. If you're interested in that topic, go look on grapplearts.com. Go look for an article called Breathing, Oxygen, and Exhaustion. And that's a story of somebody who had pretty good cardio, but would get tired when they were wrestling, I believe, people not as good as they were. And it was because when they were wrestling somebody really good, they were like, oh man, I'm going to lose anyway. So they could relax and they would lose, but they wouldn't get exhausted. When they were wrestling against somebody who they thought they had to beat, they would hold their breath unconsciously. And in that article, Breathing, Oxygen, Exhaustion, is the solution for what this guy did to fix this problem and then do really well in competition afterward. So it is fixable. So now, if you're not overweight, if you don't smoke, if you don't hold your breath, why are you getting tired? Well, really, the answer then is your cardio sucks. Maybe it's as simple as you only train once or twice a week. If you only train once or twice a week, that's not enough of an exercise stimulus to get a huge boost in your rolling cardio. So then you get a choice. Well, you get 3 choices. Put up with it just the way it is. 2, train more often. 3, do additional cardio. Or, if you do train 2 or 3 times a week, you might want to start doing additional cardio. I'm a big believer in this. I really think it's helped me and my game. There's a reason that almost all fighters do some kind of cardio. There are some people who can get away with just sparring. I'm typically not one of those people. I find that if I'm just doing a ton of sparring, it beats my body down too much, quite honestly. Especially hard enough sparring to get that heavy breathing going, which is the part that stimulates you to develop better cardio. At this time in my life, I am training, but I am trying to do one hour cardio session a week that's really hard. That's typically climbing a mountain. And then I'll do another 20, 25 minute easier jog at another time of the week. So I'm doing my training, doing my weightlifting, and then I'm still doing a couple of cardio sessions a week. And I find that really helps. It just, it puts gas in your gas tank. So if you're going with somebody, you can say, yeah, I'm going to go hard, and you're going to fight hard, and your gas tank's going to get drawn down, and my gas tank's going to get drawn down. But my gas tank's going to be it's always going to be a little bit higher than yours because it was higher to start with. And that's a really reassuring situation. If you're just brand new to cardio, don't injure yourself. Do something like a walk-run program, where you walk for a minute, jog for a minute, walk for a minute, jog for a minute. Don't go all crazy. Slowly increase your distances. Go a little bit longer every week. Don't go out there and try and run a marathon right away. You'll get there. It'll take a little while. And thus endeth my rant on cardio.